everybody, welcome back to Rise of Safemoon. We are back for a third episode. I hope everybody had a really good 4th of July. I know I did. Chase, how about you, bud?
Oh yeah, had a great time, as usual.
Great time, all right. And I know none of us watch that Safemoon chart at all. No one ever checks their Safemoon wallet to see what's going on and where that price is at.
Nope.
Anyways, I think today we are going to talk a little bit about volume because it's just so important. I also, Chase, I want to touch on the swap and evolve. You don't hear too much about that anymore. And I'd like to touch on the kind of the calculator that's online that you can put your balance in and see what kind of reflections you'll get over time, and depending on the volume and everything, it shows you what your potential could be. So I want to just remind everybody, we're not telling you to buy, hold, or sell this coin, Safemoon, and just like all crypto stocks, you're risking your money. So don't put in the money that you can't afford to lose. Everything's a risk, especially in life, but sometimes you have to take a risk if you want to get to where you want to be. And if Safemoon itself personally turns out to be a huge scam, it's the most elaborate scam ever, and I guess we can laugh about it later. But for now, let's just talk about what we see. All right?
Sounds good.
All right. So, Chase, where do you want to start, bud? I mean, you want to start talking about let's talk about reflections, something a little positive. Let's kind of be optimistic, and let's talk about our what reflections could be with that high volume. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up this here. Okay. So of course we're just on the Safemoon homepage here, and I'm going to go over to the calculator at the Safemoon Bluebiz. I appreciate you guys over there putting this calculator together and keeping it updated. It helps out quite a bit. Kind of gives us all a little hope too, and to keep persevering. So, Chase, what I did was here, I typed in, like we talked about earlier, I typed in kind of a more conservative volume here. We're not really comparing this quite yet to Binance. We can type this, and I'm sure a lot of you out there have already done this, is typed in a higher volume as compared to Binance when they have over a billion volume in a 24-hour period. But I put in 250 here, okay? 250 million for volume. And for a balance, I put in 1 million coins, okay? I think a lot of the targets for everybody is 1 million coins. It's a very round number, a very psychological number. And when you calculate that, and you look over here on the daily, okay, it puts you at, now, this is considering that the burn is going to stop at 50 billion and the remaining circulating supply is 50 billion. It's going to take 86 days for that to get there, okay? That's not that long. But in a day of that kind of volume, you're looking at almost earning 50,000 coins in a day at that volume, okay? You go in a week, you're well over 250,000 that you've earned, and then in a month, 2.5 million that you've earned, okay? And you can see the price down here, we lost a zero at that point after 1 month. And of course, after a year, it's just infinity, and doesn't make any sense. So I want to get your opinion on this super quick here because I want to type in a billion volume. But what is your opinion on a 250 million volume, Chase?
For an exchange, if we get that out there, that's really not that much. I mean, I know some of the bigger exchanges, easily hit that, 1 billion. And, there's been some videos out about that, about how that's easily attainable. And you got to remember, as the price goes up, that's going to change things obviously over time. But we're just putting in that right now at the price it's currently at. If, like, let's say the day that the exchange comes out, it hits that. Actually, the cheaper it is right now, and the more zeros, it's actually better for you, because as that price goes up, obviously that your reflections slow down a little bit, but obviously it kind of counteracts each other because the price is going up. So your bag is going to be worth more as it goes up, so it kind of equals out.
Yeah, I typed in 1 billion here. I'm gonna hit calculate. Now let's compare that. 21 days until 50 billion, if that is the final circulating supply. And in 1 day of that 1 billion volume at 1 million coins, you're almost at 200,000 coins in a day. That's over $100 at this price, over $100. After a week, you earn 2 million. After a month, 151 million coins. So I feel like if the volume came in, like we're all hoping it will, this is going to run hot and fast, and within a few months there'll be a lot of new millionaires, and I'm talking within a few months. So that's huge volume if you're going to compare it to Binance. And from what everybody's saying, the Safemoon exchange is going to rival Binance. I mean, will it happen right away? I don't think so, but I guess you never know. There's another risk. So, this is just something for everybody to see and get. I want to get your guys' takes on that. Make sure you leave some comments down below too. Kind of give me your take on that. The people that have commented, I have answered, and Chase and I have talked about some of these comments, and we really, really appreciate those comments. So leave some comments down below. Like this video. Remember to do that, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to jump right over to swap and evolve, Chase, because this all goes hand in hand, obviously. So if no one knows what swap and evolve is, I'm gonna come down here, and I'm going to basically here's the gist of swap and evolve. So at every 323,323 Safemoon collected, it will swap these tokens for the native coin. Native coin being Safemoon. So the native coin is then stored until the set trigger value of the swap and evolve is reached. So once a contract is collected and stored 132 BNB, swap and evolve function will be manually triggered. This trigger will take the set value collected at 132 BNB and purchase on the open market 66 BNB worth of Safemoon. Pair that with 66 BNB worth of Safemoon with the remaining 66 of BNB, and then place it in the liquidity pool. So we've talked about this in the other video, how it's going to keep this a stable coin, right, Chase? I mean, that's the whole point of this.
Yep, it's supposed to help kind of keep it stable, and obviously right now it's not, because of we haven't got the volume quite yet to kind of.
Yeah, there's no buying pressure there, so it takes a long time.
Yep, and they put it in there basically so when we get the volume, obviously it's going to change things, because now imagine, with the volume coming in, that kind of triggers every minute, so it's constantly buying that BNB and constantly growing.
Yeah, I can't imagine with higher volume how many times this is going to trigger. It's going to be unreal.
Yeah, I mean, it's already triggered a few times without really hardly any volume. And, with the exchange, and we've talked about that in the previous video, that volume is going to be the key. But I want people to also remember, Safemoon is priding themselves on a technology company, and, from what they're telling us, and that's kind of criticism, I mean, they're telling so far, but their products, it's going to definitely help with the volume too. I'm not sure how exactly that's going to all work, but we can always talk about that in another
I guess
video.
my opinion on that is, with products and the technologies that are supposedly coming, the coin is kind of like share prices. Buying a share in a company, whether it be AMC or anything like that, you're investing, and that's how you invest. So I think one is going to affect the other, obviously. So looking at the chart over here, I talked about this in the first video of the George W. Lost a little bit of steam right here, but you see a lot of red, I mean, with the market and the economy the way it is right now, this is to be expected. But we can see our zones here. We have a lot of good support at 3 zeros and a 4. We've got a good resistance just before we lose that 1 0. So we have a lot of room to run. If we can get by this, 3 zeros and a 6 right here, we're going to start taking off. And again, this is just speculation. This is just our opinions. I'm not telling you to buy right now. I'm not telling you to sell it or anything either. So you moon monkeys can do whatever you want. You guys have a mind of your own. But just to look at that chart now, Chase, I know you were mentioning to me before that there's a ton of FUD coming out right now. I
Yep.
believe it has to do with the liquidity pool, does it not?
Yeah, there's some things going on with liquidity that they're kind of concerned about, and one thing I want to say is the people that put in the videos out, we're here to kind of talk about the criticism and the good points of Safemoon. I do think that you got to look at where you're getting this information from. Are they getting it from past employees that were let go? You got to consider that, and you got to think about too is, are you sure that this money is being taken by the CEO and he's putting it in his bank account, or is he putting it into products? It's kind of, unless you have like a search warrant of the bank account and everything else, which they haven't done or has ever happened yet, there's no way to prove that he's taking the money for himself. And and we've talked about this too, me and you, about how we're willing to take the chance, and we don't put more money in than we can afford to lose, because
Right.
we've been through it before where we said, man, I wish we would have put money into that thing, whether it's a stock or whatever, and it ended up blowing up, and we're like, why didn't we do it? Because we were so afraid of.
We said this before. We just don't want to miss the boat, and
No.
I'd rather take a chance in life and be right and say I'm glad we did that. But again, like I said, if this is the most elaborate scam ever, then so be it.
Well, and people got to remember too, if it is a scam, if they're going to try to make it look like something happened and the coin just disappeared, eventually somebody will figure it out. There's always smarter people out there in the world that can figure these things out. And these people's reputations, they've hired so many people from the industry.
Yeah, well-known people that they're putting their faces out there, and yeah, they might end up having all the money they could ever need, but they won't have a normal life ever again. I mean, their families are affected. They're going to be affected. We're all affected. Like I said, if this is the most elaborate thing ever, I guess, but I'm willing to take the chance. I know you are. I don't put any money in here that I'm not willing to lose either. I'm not putting my life savings. I'm not saying you guys have to. Some of you may have. This is all your decision. And, Chase and I are here to just bring the hope forward, and hopefully things work out for all of us. If it doesn't, we're here for you too. There's always things out there that are going to be scams. There's things out there that you just got to be willing. Are you willing to take a chance? And we are. But that is not us telling you to take a chance. Take care of your family first. Take care of yourselves, and things are going to be what they're going to be. So are you on board with that, Chase? I mean, is that 100% where you're sitting right now?
Yep, I'm with you on that. I think that just if you're willing to do this, and we're not telling you to buy into it, just do your own research. We're just trying to give you information about it. And like we said, I mean, if this is a scam, then it's pretty elaborate and pretty ingenious. But like I said, those people's lives, I just don't think that this is.
I wouldn't want to be them, but
no.
Well, the fun is always going to be there, no matter what we're talking about. Okay, but we gotta filter through that. But we are listening. You guys leave those comments below so we can talk about the things that you are thinking and things that you want to talk about. And we really appreciate everybody that have subscribed and have watched our videos. Continue to watch. We're going to keep bringing more information. Yeah, well, Chase, I mean, we need to pump up the volume. I mean, this is the whole point of this video here, is we need the volume pumped up. I mean, that's plain and simple. If we don't have volume, we don't have anything. It's just going to sit where it's going to sit when the volume runs in. And we need that exchange. I think the exchange is key. And I said that, and we said that in the last video, that the exchange is the key. And it's going to bring the volume in. And I think if Safemoon as a team starts bringing those products forward and giving us some more information, then it's going to light that hope fire one more time, and the volume will start pumping. But I think once that exchange comes out and all of us see that, I think it's almost game over at that point. We're on the boat now. Now they just kicked in all the other motors to that boat, and we're cruising. hardcore on that. But time will tell. We've always said that from the beginning. We're not patient, but we need to be. And time will tell on where we go from here. So, Chase, do you have anything else, bud, before we take off?
Nope. Just like we said, just keep the hope up, and hopefully we'll see that volume come in.
Everybody keep their heads up. Yeah.
It's hard. The time, it's taking time, but all
things will get better. Things will get better.
It will.
It always does. It always does. All right. Well, Chase, I appreciate you stopping and taking a little time away today, and we'll do this again, and we'll see what the comments say below for what we should talk about next, because I find it kind of interesting, especially with all the FUD coming out. So we have plenty to talk about, and we'll continue to do that. So, all right, my man, we'll see you later, and peace out. Don't forget to subscribe. Rise of Safemoon, we're here.